like any other father. But
you might not want to hear this, but really, the only person this lies on, the only person who did wrong here, is fucking Nate, man. You know, he came in, he did his thing, he did his scam shit, and you know, like, Nate is the only person to blame here, not yourself. You know, and just the fact that you're fucking here speaks volumes on who you are. Like, and again, I saw the whole thing develop like early on in the social media career. You know, involving you and dude, like you will always stand up. Like I really, given your story, given everyone else's story, like we have firsthand accounts and witness accounts of everything. I don't see it any point where you're at blame for some fucking con artist to come in that likes them young. You know what I mean? That's not your fault. I hate to say it that way. I hate to be so blunt.
No, I agree. Like, honestly, like, it sounds like you tried. It sounds like you did whatever you could to get, but at the end of the day, if she didn't want to leave that situation, she wasn't going to leave. You know what I mean? Like, you can drag her out, but there's no chance
she's currently
just go running back.
She's currently asking me if I'm on live. So, yeah.
I'm really sorry if this affects any relationship that you guys did have, but we really just want her out. Like,
I've been honest with her this week, 100% anyway, because where she actually the what I just talked about with the door holding and the thought I shared that particular reel with her, and I said, "Hey, is this really what you?" I was like, "Is this what you want to put out there?" I was like, you know. When your mom did what she did, I was like, Dad stopped his whole way of living. I was like, I stopped working for a year and a half and helped transition that, because I mean, it's traumatizing. It's got to be. If you find your mom overdosed, it's like, how do you actually deal with that? How do you
at the age she was to
proceed? Yeah. Right? How to proceed with making that right in her life whole again. And I mean, and then, you know, I've been construction my whole damn life. You know, I've gone out, traveled, and, you know, I've worked my ass off, and then I went to freaking Walmart so I could be home with her. It's like, I did very well at Walmart actually, but
if you could give one message to Paige right now, what would it be?
He said, yeah, I love her. I wish she'd come home.
Love that.
And
Preston, I need to ask one thing, and then I know FN's going to probably want to ask some things, but I just wondered, like, back when this happened, did anybody contact the authorities, being that she was of that age, under the consent age?
They did not have, they were contacted. And it was said that without proof, because of the other side of the family, there was no, coordination. There was nothing that coincided with each story. It was two different stories. And I will not lie, I was not trying to handle it legally. In the world that I lived in at that point in time, I wore a cut as a member of an MZ and was handling it my way. So,
well, because I'm personally trying to listen to you and Tanya and everything you both say, but I also have to like understand that you guys have a history, and I don't want you guys to like blame each other and stuff, but in the end, I just want what's good for Paige, you know.
That's all it's about.
Yeah.
If you had one message to give to Nate, what would it be?
Please don't ever come near me.
That was so nice.
Please, God, do not ever come near me.
Yeah, I
was getting ready for the strike.
I know. Like, you kept that real clean. Like, honestly, because I can't.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't say what I need to say to Nate.
Don't ask me what I want to say to him.
Yes.
You learn to do that at 51 and after everything that you've been through. So.
Clean.
It's not easy, but with the life that I live right now, as you know, with my position in the community and my job, I mean,
See, I don't have to worry about that.
Important.
What I want to say to Nate right now is Nate from MP Jewelry, Nathaniel Page. Nate, just Nate. Go fuck yourself. You're a piece of shit. You fucking like him young.
No,
and honestly, I hope I can prevent you from doing this again, you piece of fucking shit. Talking to Nate. This is aimed at Nate.
Everybody keep tapping, protect alive.
Yeah, protect anywhere, man.
Nah, fuck this. I'll lose this whole account for this. Fuck that motherfucker. That grooming ass piece of shit who thinks he can lie his way out. I love the fact that he made a video that we can disprove in 2 different ways about why he could not get with Paige before she was fucking 18. If
that was easy. Too easy.
Anyone in here that follows them, supports them, and fucking keeps in the fucking in that whole community, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Like, really,
Sad thing is a bunch of them have children.
I know.
That's the second sad part. It's usually people with kids in their fucking profile picture. Like, homie, if you're over here from over there and you don't see all the fucking proof and evidence that everyone here has brought towards that she was not fucking 18 when they started dating. We found out tonight she was 14, and you're gonna support them. You know what you're gonna do? Eat a whole bag of fucking dicks. And I'm done. I gotta get that out of me. I appreciate you guys for letting me ramble there.
No,
You're
but
good, bro.
like, amen. Period.
Hey, FN, you got anything? I think he's off right now, but I was gonna say you probably want to ask Preston a couple things.
Yeah, I did have a question. If he unpauses, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
But yeah, I do want to say thanks to him for coming on and sharing about Paige a little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful to hear a little bit of backstory on Paige, like, at all.
Preston, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
Thanks for coming on. It sounds like Paige is probably watching this live, so the only real question I just want to ask to you is, at any time, if she feels like she needs to get away or she wants to get away, is she able to come to you? Is she going to be able to get the resources to leave?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So this is like the 3rd family member that's said this openly and alive so far, guys. Like,
Yep.
this is how many people she has that she could potentially go to that she considers that she doesn't. Like, it blows my mind. And I really feel like it's not coming from Paige. I feel like it's coming from Nate. Like, it feels like it's coming from Nate. I'm so sorry. I'm so raspy, guys. I'm so congested tonight. But it feels like every string being pulled is Nate, and almost none of it is even Paige anymore. Truthfully.
She zones out half the time and disassociates, and part of that can be from the K stuff, but also she just, I think she gets lost in her own head half the time now.
That clip
Well,
of her.
Paige's biggest thing when she was younger is she wanted to travel. She really did. She wanted to see the world. She wanted to see the country. She wanted to see all the beauty that was out there in the world. Because, I talked about, because she knows I went to Sturgis and stuff. I told her about Mount Rushmore and everything out there, this and that. And, she was very excited about listening to the stories, seeing those pictures. And, I mean, that's always been a life goal for her. She just wanted to travel. She wanted to be a photographer. She wanted to take care of animals. She wanted to be a vet. But it's just like what she's doing now, it's probably exactly what she wants to do. Seriously, it probably is. And that's what helps her hide behind it, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
I guess when you put it like that, it's what she wants to be doing, but I feel like she could be doing it a more healthy way. You know what I mean? Like, with maybe a guy a little bit closer to her age. Doesn't even really have to be closer to her age. Just not a man that groomed her from 14 on. You know what I mean? I don't mind an age gap relationship. There's nothing truly wrong with it. You know what I mean? So long as it's done the right way. You know what I mean? And the way that it was done here is not. It's if you're sending them money, you're supporting a groomer. You're supporting someone who will absolutely lie and take everything out of your bank account if he can. And every piece of evidence has been shown in several different lives, in several different videos on FN's page. Anywhere a man has an entire playlist, Staying Out the Nonsense has a bunch of stuff. It's been shown like over and over and over again, and they somehow still have all these supporters sending them money. That's wild, bro. Like, that's crazy.
And so the history on that, her mom's first 3 relationships were age gap relationships. I don't know if it stems that way, but I mean, her and I are a year apart, but she was very young when she first met Michael and Margaret's father. So.
Yeah, who knows
there's no telling. There's not a science to it. There's nothing. Everybody points to daddy issues, this and that. They actually had that question on their TikTok or whatever, and I mean, it's not about issues. It's about experience. It's about the access. It's about, I mean, as her father, I'll say it 100%. It's about lack of parenting. We did not protect her from that.
Just real quick, because I saw somebody mention it in the chat earlier, because Paige has said this on live. Was she ever on probation as a kid?
No.
Did she ever have a history of drinking or substance use?
No.
Are you concerned that she has that issue now?
No.
Okay.
Maybe pot, maybe weed, and those girls in Maine it's legal. So I mean, all the kids were doing it, but we all grew up around it, I think.
I mean, I do.
I mean, if that's the only thing my child's doing, well, you gotta help her. She's alright. As long as she stays out of that shit her mother's going to, so.
There's worse things than that, but Nate would be like a worse thing than that, and she's there doing it with him.
Which is a lot of history I didn't even know. I mean, I probably would have fought that trip to Arizona a little harder, so.
Do you have any concerns about maybe like the financial aspect of what's going on here? Because she has said before that Nate has helped her build up her credit, and I can't help but think, considering his history, that it's done in a malicious.
He's going to ruin her life. He is going to ruin her credit. He's going to ruin her credibility, and she's going to have to pedal her ass out of it for the rest of her life.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. I think probably getting her credit up was just so he could take advantage of her credit,
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did hear was Tanya also in an age gap relationship?
Yes, 3 times.
Okay.
She has 6 children, 5 different fathers. Paige is the last one.
Well, do you have anything else, Preston? You think you could add or anything, or?
I mean, at this point, I'm just waiting for tomorrow because my daughter is apparently very concerned about my TikTok activity right now. So,
do you think she's gonna contact you after the live, or do you think she will wait till tomorrow?
She's gonna chew my ass because I'm not gonna lie to her. So.
I mean, there's no need to lie. This is on a public platform. It's, you know what I mean? She's probably watching from the window right now. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
There's nothing to lie about anyways, but...
First and foremost, she knows how I feel about Nate. We've already discussed, even everything that happened with her mother. I told her right off the bat, I was like, look, nope, that stuff with your mom. I said, that's between you and her. I said, what we're going to talk about is you and me. We're going to talk about your safety. We're going to just, I said, I just want to know how you're doing. That's it. So I just want to know that you're safe. I said, I want to hear about you. And she knows that I don't want to hear about Nate. So, I mean,
I wouldn't either.
but at this point, it's just getting that relationship with my daughter that, Christ, this child was my best friend. We'd hang out and do everything together. It's like, I don't give a shit what her mother had to say, but it is just, we lived in a house by ourselves for like a year and a half, taking care of somebody else's house that was there every 2 weeks for a weekend, and that's it. He was a good friend of mine, very good friend. Loved having her there and loved giving us that opportunity so that we can save his heating bill by him not having to pay for propane. We used wood. And we stayed there. And
hey, Preston, I want everybody to be able to have a fair say. And like I said, I don't personally know all the details besides what we've looked up on Paige and Nate and stuff. But Margaret was saying that you got a hold of them or something about and accused them of lying or saying they were lying or something like that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
What were they lying about?
Basically the timelines and everything that was going on as far as when all this transitioned, where Tanya was sitting there saying that Paige was staying somewhere else. When she left my house where Melinda and I resided, she went to Tanya's apartment in Wilton, which I won't use names, but Mr. J, how's that sound? He owned the apartment building, and he let Tanya live there. They had their own little personal thing going on, but also Tanya had a friend in another town where she was at most of the time. Paige was there, free reign, like I explained earlier. Her brother was calling me, telling me that there was a bunch of stuff going down over there. The other facts about why she come to live with me had nothing to do with Melinda. I wasn't with Melinda at the time. Tanya overdosed. That's why Paige came to live with me. It was nothing else. As she explained in her live, which I listened to thoroughly. Yeah, she had issues. I mean, were they mine? I don't know. We both had our issues.
Yeah, I like one of the comments here. There's, especially in a split family, there's always going to be bitterness. There's always going to be disagreements. Yeah. But also, like, I mean, was there times you actually like some of the rumors? Like I can't say they're true, but were that you like to partake in alcohol a lot? Like, was there times that maybe you're regretful that you were gone part of the time? Like, with that, was it some of both of you? Is what I'm kind of saying. Like, that kind of the problem maybe was, or.
Let's just put it this way. Her comment about, I got into alcohol with my husband, Preston. No, not true. She was drinking the shit out of coffee brandy before I met her with her ex-husband, Scott. Okay? That was the thing. I'm not saying that I don't like it. Hell yeah. We drank together. We partied together. Absolutely.
Well, we all have a past. I'm not like saying...
Yeah. Most of my time was spent working. Okay? I worked a lot. It was usually 6 days a week. Yeah, we partook a lot, but I mean, as far as like that interfering with a lot of things, no, because it was always after hours. We didn't sit there and get freaking shit faced before the kids went to bed and stuff like that. No, it was always after hours. We frequent the clubs. We like to dance and go do those things. We go out with our sisters and stuff. It wasn't portrayed as like, we were freaking shit-housed, freaking alcoholics. No. We lived life. The kids got to experience a lot of things. We go camping a lot. Go to the amusement parks, go to the beach, just take a beach day, go to the river. It wasn't like, we were drunk all the time. Hell no.
Well, at one point, even Paige had a bunch of pictures up of like when she was very young, like young teenager, maybe even preteen, like a good time she had with you. You guys were out at piers or I can't remember exactly the locations, but it looked like you guys really had some good times. And, you know, I mean, I'm sorry everything ended up playing out the way it did, but, you know, I think I come from a split family, and my mother will
Myself as well.
did things wrong. My father would to this day say he did things wrong, and neither one of you can change the past. But I mean, I think just being honest and going forward and doing what is best for her is really all that can happen at this point. You know.
And that's all that matters.
Yep. I mean, I just wanted everybody to save your peace,
you know,
and be able to.
We all had our experiences back then. We did what we did. That was then. This is now.
I think that's like the point we're all kind of really here for.
It's kind of the simple thing is about my daughter's future. As a parent, I'm not on here to, you know, gloat or, you know, portray myself as anything else. I reached in because I have watched so many of you guys' videos. And it's like, you know, I see all the, you know, the fake jewelry stuff, this and that, da da da. I don't really give a shit about the jewelry. I mean, he's doing what he's doing. He's posted his receipts and all that dumb shit. I don't care about any of that. I care about what my daughter is going through.
Well, if I was in your shoes, Margaret's, Tanya's, I wouldn't care about the jewelry either. It's mainly about the situation with Paige. Yes.
Yes. And I mean, at this point, it's like, do I feel she's in any danger right now? No, I don't feel she's in any danger. Do I feel a lot about other things? Yeah, of course I do. But when I talk to her, she doesn't seem off. She doesn't seem like she's not okay. So it's like, yes, she's lived it this long that it is okay for her. So there's nothing that's going to change that, I don't think, other than what happened before. You know, if any action was taken because of what he did when she was 14, yes. But at this point in time, there's nothing that's going to convince her that she has to leave. And that's just, I mean, just mentally thinking about it, you know, like just being smart. I understand what social media does to it and everything else, but as far as knowing my daughter, there's nothing right now telling her that she needs to leave.
She doesn't feel like she's in danger, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's sad.
Well, I mean, because look how far he's took care of her. Like,
correct.
Yeah,
He's
she
provided for her
knows
this
that
long.
he's going to take care of her. That's what he does.
Yes, sir.
So nobody's going to
That's what I'm
stop him.
saying. But
I agree with you.
She's turned into a robot.
Again, a complicit victim, which is, again, what Josh is about to do. And so is Josh's girlfriend, wife, whatever. And it's just, I think anyone that really comes into contact with Nate at this point becomes that. Because that's what it, you know what I mean? It evolves their world into, like, being around Nate's hustle. You know what I mean? Whatever Nate's trying to play right now. I got tagged in the comments.
it's different every day.
You know, I think Adam had a good point about how Paige is kind of robotic right now. Preston, could you shine light a little bit? You touched a little bit on it earlier, but could you talk about maybe what her personality was like as a kid, as a teenager, and how you saw that maybe change after meeting Nate and being with Nate?
This is kind of funny, to be honest with you, but there hasn't really been much that has changed. My daughter has always been strong-headed, strong-willed. She's always spoke her mind. She's always said her feelings.
Yeah, but she's not really doing that now. You know what I mean? She's speaking Nate's
Well,
feelings.
and the thing is, I've had, so mind you, over 2 years, I've had limited access. After the first bout, which, you know, Adam, you know, he was part of, It literally it drove me fucking insane, to be honest with you. And I backed out. I deleted TikTok. I got away from all of it because I was going to end up in a bad place I didn't need to be. And it was hurting my daughter. It was hurting our relationship. She totally blocked all contact from everything. That's an eerie feeling alone when your own daughter will no longer talk to you. When it's somebody you've talked to every day since they were born. And yeah, so that kind of put me in a bad spot. It put me in a bad spot at home as well. My current relationship, it did not pan out very well because she did not understand it. She doesn't have kids. So, this day and age, the Paige that I see, like on the videos, this and that, yeah, do I feel it's coerced? Of course I feel like that. She's not talking like she talks. She's answering questions. And that's what most of the videos I watch are, is they're answering questions from other people.
Do you still see Paige when you look at her, though? Like, you know what I mean? Do you still see it?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
don't see my daughter.
Deep. That's deep as fuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of a blank page, to be honest. And no pun intended, but my uncle used to call her. He's like, he used to say to her, "You're not Paige, you're a whole damn book. You're a whole book, girl." And she's no longer that whole book.
I had a lot of her classmates from school even message and say that's not who she was. She was bubbly, she was fun, she was cheerful.
Always.
You know?
Always.
Like you said, it sounded like she was a really, really good kid.
She was the fucking greatest kid ever. I mean, and not anything to put against her sister, because I don't want no jealousy shit going on, but
no, that's the one thing you guys are all on the same page with. Like you, Margaret, Tanya have all said, and even other people, the classmates, the other family members I've talked to, have all agreed she was a good kid. She was bubbly, cheerful, you know. So
if there was a dark situation, she made it brighter.
That's so stupid.
That's how simple you can say it.
You
If
took the whole-
the house is dark, she came up with something to make it brighter. As spoiled as she was, her mother's right about that. She was spoiled as hell, but she had that knack for just, hey, I'm not upset about anything. And if she was, yeah, it was an issue, but it was just an issue for her siblings, which is normal. But she always wanted the best that she can get out of life. And I think right now she thinks she's doing that.
So you don't technically think she's in danger because, she's outed about all this and Nate and what's going on?
I think she's enjoying the experience. I think there are a lot of the things, that goes on that really bugs her. I mean, apparently it would me. I mean, and as Tanya says, she's her father's daughter. But I think Christ, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. She has. I've never been to the Hoover Dam. She has. She's
That constant use
she's
of
probably
that constant use of the K word, though, is not a good situation she's in. I mean, I think you know what we're talking about, but
yes, sir.
I mean, there's a lot of side effects to that and long-term side effects. And so to me, I do feel like it is a type of danger. I mean, that they're both partaking every day, but I mean, that's why it's illegal. It's even illegal in some places, but
Yeah.
I just hope she doesn't have any long-term effects, by the time she gets out of the whole situation.
Myself either. The last thing I want is for this to come down to something stupid. So,
all right. If you don't got anything else, FN, we can probably wrap up the Nate and Paige thing. And I don't know how much. If anybody else has got any other questions or anything to say, please feel free.
Yeah, I'm good to wrap up. I just want to say, thank you, Preston, for coming up here. Thank you, Adam, for sharing your platform, and everyone else that was in the box today. Thank you so much. And everyone in chat, of course.
Yeah, same. I really didn't have anything else. I think this went about as well as it could have. Honestly, having you up, Preston, was, I think, really eye-opening for some people. Being able to, we've heard the mob side, and obviously there's 8 sides to every story, right? You know what I mean? It was still important to hear yours, and I appreciated it. Finding out that Paige was actually much younger than we even thought is also eye-opening. We definitely heard some things here tonight, and I just really hope that it sticks with people, and that, the reports and everything else that was shown tonight, stop supporting these people. If you're still in there supporting them, please don't. It's just keeping them on here, and it's just justifying what they're doing.
and at the end of the day, this is not in any way my intention to damage my daughter. That's not what I want. Their situation, I understand what you guys are trying to do. I get it. It's quite the movement I've been following. And at the end of the day, my biggest concern is just her. That's it.
Well, I hope you appreciate that we all do consider her a victim in all this, and we're not trying to by any means
yes, sir.
Drag her.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's definitely
My thing is about my relationship with her. You know what I mean? I mean, she's 2 years and she's talking to me, so it's been actually a very good week for me. And I know I say it's good, but just to have that contact. So hopefully this doesn't ruin it.
Well, hang in there and just try to keep talking to her, Preston. That's all you can do. I mean, and just try to keep in contact. I mean, that's probably the number one thing you can do.
No, I'm a project manager, so communication is my job.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming, Preston. It means a lot. We got to hear from Tanya and her sister, and we just want everybody to hear everything from everybody. I mean, what's fair is fair to hear everybody. So, really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, Preston.
Peace out.
At least the crickets are done now, or the cicadas or whatever was going on there. But I wanted, if you don't got anything else about Nate and Paige, I wanted to let Seekin get in here. She wanted to. I'm sorry it took so long, Seekin. It was kind of unexpected that her father was going to come in.
No, don't you worry about that at all. That needed to happen.
Seekin's one of the old people on here that used, she did some amazing content, and trying to tell her to put a little fire under there and maybe get back in there and doing it. But she did want to bring something to people's attention about that's going on. And let me know if you need me to switch some screenshots or whatever, and when, and take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, guys, it's great to be back after a couple of years. I really miss connecting with you all and diving into the anti-scam content. I'm excited to jump in and share what I've learned, tonight with you all regarding Lindsay Beckett. So I've been watching Lindsay since December, January-ish. I can't really remember, but I do remember it was when I was down south in Louisiana.